It's the day and age of our Winnerbracket Semifinal, deciding round in the DreamHack Close Qualifier. Whoever wins this best of 5 is going to the finals alongside Happy, Foggy, Hawk, X-Lord, and Vortex. 3 maps to go. It is Germany versus Moldova, coming from this very bracket right here. Blade with a 2-0 over Little DC, WaN with a convincing 2-0 over Cooper. Different matchup now. How good are these guys against each other, against their respective opponents' races? It is Blade versus WaN for Mousesports. Will he be the second German Mousesports undead to go into the biggest European tournament that we've probably ever had for $35,000? Or is it going to be the bad boy of Warcraft in Blade? We start on Amazonia. Can the might be matched?
That is going to be the task for Blade this series, being able to deal with the Cryptlord, but not here. Amazonia, the one exception, where Cryptlord expansion is pretty much impossible, so here WaN is going with the good old standard of Ted Fiend build, with an interesting base layout as well. DK first against AM first. You asked for the map vetoes earlier. Did we get the pleasure of being told, or is that a mistake?
I don't think so, no. I didn't see them.
Okay, I didn't see them either. Well, alright, anyways. Amazonia here, all first map. This is still the old map pool. Did you notice it's starting to get a little bit confusing with the different tournaments? We have so many different map pools nowadays for so many different tourneys. Some of them have Autumn Leaves, some of them have Twisted, some of them have Echo, some of them have Turtle Rock, but there's different constellations. But here it's still the old 2020, 2019 map pool with Twisted. No Turtle Rock, no Autumn Leaves. But that might change for next season, by the way. Maps, of course, always important in an RTS. In Warcraft, you have to adjust your strategy accordingly. On Amazonia, expanding for the undead is very hard. Expanding for the human is also hard, but most humans still play with a fast expansion. But Blade is one of those rare humans who may not do this here and may trust in his one base rifles.
Who won?
That was so close.
Aiming for the last hit, exactly. Maybe some practice with X-Lord, who's very good at that as well. Blade securing every single last hit here. Now it gets a lot harder as we have the coil available. Pump fake gets it. First experience for WaN. And how much damage can he do? Aiming for the next worker. Blade moves them away. Little min-maxing attempt here by sending the skeleton away to deny the 12 XP. Can only do it for the second one, but it's still not level 2 for Blade.
Yeah, Acklite also got the last hit on the Peasant, which was kind of nice. A little bit more experience for the DK. If you go for this ultra-aggressive style with the DK without creeping at the beginning, that puts quite a bit of pressure on you. By the time the expansion is crept, you will have had to steal enough last hits to get that level 2. Being stuck on level 1 would be a disaster. DK already dropping really low, dropping down to only about 200 hit points, which I think isn't the cleanest of harasses here early on by WaN. Getting the last hit with the coil was nice, getting a Peasant was nice, but I think he kind of overextended and stayed in too deep. Staying at further range may be better, but, well, we don't have an expansion coming up anyways. As Blade plays his patented one-base style, we will see the tech here once again with a blacksmith and rifles to join soon.
Yeah, on this map, it's so much safer. I think it's just the right approach. If you're able to pull it off well, just like Blade does, and know the timings inside out, one base on Amazonia is, in my opinion, the way to go. Otherwise, you expose yourself way too much. We saw that in pretty much every single skill level, whether it be ESL Cups or Skill Silver Cups or the normal skill Cups. Doesn't seem to be working. Next, lasted with a coil, a little too late for that. Slippers for Blade, who immediately turns around with his Archmage to get this 1, 2, 3 more hits on the DK. There's still no aura, so there's no regen.
Yeah, it's starting to become a very painful early game here for WaN. The catastrophe would be if the Fiend gets ensnared, and you might lose that one. Always have to be careful with the trappers. I think Blade is kind of baiting it, trying to trigger an ensnare on the Fiend, but hasn't worked out yet. The AM always putting in good damage. And the DK is going to have a tough time here. Successfully contesting the creep. Still not having the aura for WaN. Very painful. But the undead has the much faster tech. With that, the Lich will be coming out a lot faster than the MK on the other side. But I like how Blade is playing this very confident. He's not afraid of this DK and a few Fiends standing there. He's returning damage. He's firing away with the AM. And this early game so far has been going the humans' way.
But how long is the question? 3 Fiends now, firepower for WaN is getting bigger and bigger, and now he's able to threaten this Archmage at least a little bit down to 300. Wants the Troll Trapper, ideally wants the Water Elemental. Blade able... Oh, was he able to deny? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. 115 now. But no Rod of Necromancy anymore. DK incredibly hurt. And not level 2. Blade is approaching tier 2, as you said. Rifles are already coming, so the first one is out. He's following up with the second one super quickly.
And the MK will be joining in a moment as well. With Undead, ideally early on you want to be able to Coil Nova, kill off a couple of rifles, reduce their numbers, but with the DK so hurt here, it's going to be very hard to do because of course Stormbolt is going to be available very, very soon. Also with the DK so hurt, contesting the 2 Kobold camps in the middle, not going to be that easy. The AM level 3, the DK level 1. That is very, very bad for WaN. He's going to have to creep passively now, and he's going to have to give up the middle in its entirety to Blade.
That's big. That's 2 orange camps. He has a lead with a tier 3. A little bit, but at max a quarter, I would say. So, interesting. This is, of course, a lot of experience going to the first hero. And not only do you need to have good control and everything, you need to have good estimation of how much can you creep with your first hero, especially on a small map like this. How much experience is left for my second hero? When can I brawl? Where do I get my level 2 and 3? Not only for the second hero, but also for the third hero.
Yeah, especially for the human, that third hero, the Paladin, is supposed to level ideally pretty well. For the Undead, it's going to be the Dark Ranger. And that is the late game advantage for Undead in this 1 base. The Dark Ranger really doesn't need any levels at all. Having Dark Minions is nice, but not really needed, whereas the Paladin only really becomes strong once he's level 3 for the level 2 Holy Light. Similarly are the second heroes. Mountain King desperately needs level 3 to take a good fight. Lich, not so much, although it does, of course, help. WaN still creeping passively. A lot of experience going Blade's way. With the rifles, with the sustain of the Priest and the Watch Elementals, Blade is creeping quite quickly over here. Level 2 MK already. If he gets the top left Merc camp after, he's going to be level 3 for that powerful level 2 Storm.
Alright then. Archmage far away. This is exactly what I mean. Like power leveling. The MK knows exactly what to do. Archmage is scouting. Where is my opponent? Where on the map is he moving to? What are his objectives? Very good play by Blade, who's almost at tier 3, where WaN already is with the Orb of Corruption. Goes for the 12 o'clock. Archmage not part of this creep jack. 44 supply for the human. WaN only at 40. But with an orb, but also still no level 3.
Yeah, WaN has the orb and a statue. If he throws in a Dark Ranger, he's pretty much fight ready. Blade might be a little over-aggressive here. He actually wants to force a fight. He's got big upgrades coming. He's got a Paladin soon to join. Inner Fire a little further away. Maybe the Adept training on the Priest was a little bit late by him. Also level 3 MK would be a big level up. Level 4 AM is a big deal. But WaN is coming in with the creep text. That's what I was talking about. The Dark Ranger here looking for the opening. And Blade is getting caught out on the map before he really wants to take a fight. He's going to lose the first Rifleman pretty quickly. And Blade is going to have to call Militia if he actually wants to fight here.
We don't have Destroyers, so maybe that's a chance. Second Stormbolt thrown, but countered with the level 1 coil. Is that really making a difference? Nope, Fiend dies regardless. There's still so much mana on the Mountain King. Maybe Blade is making the right decision to go for this fight if he's the one with more mana at the end.
And the Stormbolt is ready. The DK almost close to getting surrounded here. Frost Armor doing a good job. And the Militia also helping out a lot. Paladin is also on the way from the base. Doesn't have an Orb of Fire yet, but it will be coming in later. MK in trouble, getting focused, but the Holy Light arrives perfectly at the right time. Invul Potion still available. The Dark Ranger very hurt now. And WaN is going to have to back up. Blade keeps position. Oh, nice Stormbolt dodge there. The Fiend does take the damage, but will survive in the ground. One more Stormbolt is ready. Blade can perhaps get that Fiend after all, but it's kind of getting blocked. And the Fiend will get away. No boots on the MK. He was saving that gold hard for the MK to always get in range. And WaN doesn't want to give up this position. He doesn't want to give up the lab and perhaps even the Merc camp, and perhaps even the gold mine.
Needs more time for the statues to heal and regen up. No red spot for Blade. Doesn't have the firepower anymore. Mountain King at 50% mana capacity. Of course, Brilliance Aura is working against it, but only level 1. This looks pretty good. Disease Cloud started, as well as the first attack upgrade for the Fiends. One of them very quick, the other one will take some time. And of course, we don't have Abominations here just yet. But if there's no high-level Holy Light, if there's no high-level Stormbolt, these Abominations have a very good chance of have a high impact. Gotta be careful here. MK once again at 50% aiming for that Lich. There's a coil maybe on cooldown. Needs the healing soon. So close, the Holy Light comes in and an Invo Potion for the Mountain King. Oh boy, did you overestimate the Lich's tankiness? Were you a little too brave, WaN? Next hammer flies from the backhand side. Fiends so hurt, can't burrow, level 3, more mana. Blade takes the fight.
And there's a rock golem up here. And of course the Mercamp. Blade with a great game. Surprisingly, didn't use the whole lot defensively. I think WaN was counting on that as well. But Blade used it aggressively and saves his Mountain King with that Invul Potion. Very well done, Blade. Definitely the best rifle player in Europe. In the past, he was able to bring Happy to the edge, and here now he's looking to be in a fantastic spot in this game. He's got Inner Fire now, finally. Not too many rifles, though. He's still got a few footmen in his army. He needs a few more rifles for a bit more damage. Last hit, an item. A big deal here from the Rock Golem. Dark Ranger getting threatened. Last hit goes to the Undead, actually, but the Dark Ranger's going down. The Scroll of the Beast popped right away. Next Stormbolt is going to be flying in a second. That should be the next kill. Can he dodge it with a Burrow? That's his only chance. Gets it. But there should be a reveal.
Yeah, exactly. Here it comes from the lab. That's another Fiend down. The Ensnare doesn't do too much. The A-Bomb tech is done. Maybe we have to question, was the A-Bomb tech the right one, or would Banshees have been better? Of course, there's a lot of Dispel with Master Priest. Lich is back, but no silence. Little bit of mana. One Nova. Still no level 2 coil. That hurts so much. No Fire Orb, still no backpack. That Water Elemental would be level 3 and he gets it.
Yeah, the single A-Bomb in this low supply that we're still in is pretty good, but once we get to 70 supply, then A-Bombs get sniped so quickly, especially if there's an Orb of Fire on the human side. So normally the Banshee is the stronger tech. The longer the game goes, the A-Bomb can have a very big impact here around 50 supply early on tier 3. Creepjack now. Blade not afraid of this Creepjack. He's going to lose one priest right away. He wants to get the item at least and perhaps TP out after. Seems like that might be a good call. Gets the Rune Bracers, gets level 4. Blade is staying in this. He doesn't want to fall back yet. He's got a few sorceresses for slow. The Destroyer in the air. WaN has to be very careful with that one, not to lose it too easily. And here we see the Focus Fire on the Abomination, taking so much damage. If there was an Orb of Fire here, this A-Bomb would die even faster, but even without, it's going down quick. Before Inner Fire, we have 2-1 upgrades on these rifles already. The Paladin, by the way, in the back with big trouble. Just barely survives. Very close now to level 2. By the way, the statue goes down thanks to the bash. And that's level 2 for the Paladin. Whether it's Divine Shield or the Aura, both will be really good.
Lich!
Going for the Lich again, and that one is going down with the Holy Light. GG is called by WaN. And with a 1-base rifle play, Blade able to take out WaN.
Yep, that was a good one. Amazonia going to the human. That early game was pretty rough for WaN there, not getting too much done. Good fights, I would say, but always with the better outcome for Blade. He apparently knew exactly how far he can push this. And this just shows how crazy good Blade is in this matchup. Doesn't matter if it's against Cryptlord or DK. He just knows exactly what to do.
Yeah, good game by Blade. WaN, I think, wasn't ready for that 1-base style. I think he was expecting an expansion. He was way too aggressive with the DK. Early DK control, getting last hits, and retaining health is really important. If you lose so much HP, you have to concede the map. You're going to fall far behind. Level 1 DK against level 3 AM, you cannot allow this. Perhaps the wrong creep route at the beginning as well. Maybe you should have taken the trolls first. But yeah, that was just down to pretty much early game mistakes by WaN. He probably knows that this was the reason he fell here. But Amazonia, a very unique map that we probably won't see played like that in the other maps. We're going to Northern Isles next, where I would be absolutely surprised if he wouldn't be seeing a Cryptlord Fast expansion.
Yeah, that was the last encounter between them. It was a 2-1, by the way, in favor of Blade. But Northern Isles was the map that WaN took off of him. The only map so far that WaN took off of Blade. We are ready. It's 2-0 in direct encounters in favor of Blade, 4-1 in maps. So yeah, Northern Isles. Now the big question. Can the might be matched or not? Blade didn't really need a staff. Blade didn't really need a fire orb, but this is gonna be a whole different game. And before we move into this, we have Varian Vryn with the €5 donation. Hey Neo and Remo and Bidu and Carson. Happy Lunar New Year and happy Valentine's Day. Exactly. Happy Lunar New Year to you guys too. If you celebrate that, many countries do. So hope you have wonderful holidays here on Sunday with the best Warcraft in Europe. 1-0 lead for Blade. Can he claim match points? The Moldovan Mauler. Or will WaN be able to strike back? That's his map. That must be a Crypt Lord. Can the might be matched?
And what is Blade's counterplay to it? We already saw that Blade, much unlike many other humans, isn't relying on fast expansion so much. We saw it on AZ a moment ago, and we saw it earlier against DC. In fact, we haven't seen Blade expand once yet. Is he going to do it now, or is he going to stay more aggressive on one base? I think on Northern Isles, it might be a better idea to skip the expansion.
Really?
Because if you just expand here early on, it seems like you're on the back foot at all times. The Crypt Lord, with his instant expansion, instant level 2, and all the beetles and so on, is going to be able to pressure your expansion as the human very well. And the creep route is a little wonky on Northern, where the human doesn't get level 3 easily, unlike Concealed Hill, for example. We're seeing the AM starting, obviously, against the Crypt Lord. That much we knew. But where's he going to go creeping? What's the tech going to be? What's the strat going to be for Blade? We can be pretty sure WaN is going to be going for the fast expansion. Blade knows this as well. And Blade is going to have a specific game plan in mind of how to play against them.
Yeah, lots of questions here. We see 2 farms at the moment. Not 3, not 4. So maybe you're right with the 1 base play. There's the 3rd one. Still not an indicator. How many peasants will he build? We're at 7, 8. Oh no, that's a footman. So 7. Acolyte going over for the scout 2.
Forces are under attack.
Yeah, what's WaN's creep route? Will he be going for the Tuskars first, for the greens, instantly for the expansion? Blade is the one going to the Tuskars. This will not be contested, of course. Crypt Lord way too slow, and no coil, of course, that you can throw from long range. This can potentially be a great item. Scroll of the Beast comes to mind. Mana potions come to mind. And of course it is level 2 as well. WaN making his way to the left to the natural.
Yeah, this is great for the human to creep early on, because even the mana steal is really good against Crypt Lord. Even the invul potion is really good to survive a surround. The big healing early on, the lowest impact, but even that can be good. With this opening creep route with the Tuskars, the human can decide to be aggressive on level 2 right away. Blade doesn't do this, he's going for the green. If he calls the militia again and goes for the lab, that would be level 3 for him. But we actually see a 4th farm, so it might be the expansion. No, never mind. Militia moving north, he's going to creep the lab. He's delaying his tech by a long time, but probably going to be aggressive in a moment when he's level 3 with the AM.
Amazing inventory. Greater mana and Mantle of Intelligence for Blade. Ring, not the greatest. Gets the footman, gets level 2. And this is the old Hawk creep route, isn't it? Tuskar into lab. Or Tuskar into green into lab.
Yeah. Don't know who originally came up with it, but especially to pressure the Crypt Lord on this map, we've been seeing it more and more from many humans, because here, boom, there you see it. Perfect level 3. You can also go for the staff here. If you wait a little bit at 1900 hours, buy the staff, and then you can get out of surrounds as well. Sells the crystal ball, understandably so. Now you can go for boots and staff if he wants, which would be a good idea. Does so. 400 gold, but could definitely be worth it. Tech, however, not started yet for Blade. He delayed this by a long time. He needs to cancel his haunted gold mine as it's coming up.
Okay, we're at 60%. Will he commit everything to this building? We do have 1 impale to prevent the damage. Archmage far away. Ghouls and skeletons are taking care of that. I think he needs to go for an impale. This haunted is already cancelled, alright. But he gets the surround. There is a staff, of course, but there's impale. And boom, that's the TP.
And that was a slick play by WaN. He realizes there's a staff on the AM, so he has to get the vanilla surround with only ghouls without aura against an AM with boots. Almost impossible to do, but if your name is WaN, you can do it. So the TP is forced, Blade is forced back to his side of the map, but if he was paying close attention, he should also know that the Crypt Lord has no mana anymore, so no impales anymore, so maybe Blade can cancel this expansion again.
Staff is on cooldown, of course, for a little while as well. The nice level 3 once more. Flash Eater going down. Replenishment Potion. Excellent! If he just gets a little bit of time to use it and not have it cancelled. Staff on cooldown for 50 seconds. Is that another chance? Force around, he rather focuses on the Footman. And both get away with the Crimson Mask, but they get away. Elemental.
Is that enough? He moved it out of range of the Nerub Tower. Very smart. Doesn't get slowed on the attack speed. And yeah, that is enough for the cancel. Great play here by Blade.
And the tier 2 tech is on the way. There were already ghoul run-bys at the possible expansion of Blade, but there was nothing, so 3 ghouls just moved across the map and back, and now the human is causing trouble, not only at the expansion, but at the same time in the main.
Staff for the AM still on cooldown, so they're still a little bit scary. You always have to respect WaN's surrounds. Expansion, though, cancel again. Now started again for WaN, but man, what a sick delay of the expansion this is. In the meantime, Blade is trying to take out some of these ghouls, but he doesn't have too many footmen left. In fact, he seems to only be losing footmen, getting none of these ghouls. Always hard to make the perfect assessment. How aggressive do you want to be? Where should you attack? And when is it time to fall back?
Close to level 3. Now level 3 is the Crypt Lord with his Water Elemental. There were quite some losses for Blade, feeding the Crypt Lord to level 2 Beetles, which are of course amazing against rifles. Staff out as the Beetle finds him. Good scouts as well. Tier 2 finishes. Footman, 3 Footmen, very hurt, safe to the base, healed up now, so he can creep and work with 5 of them. But it's finally time for WaN to go a little counter-aggressive, even though with just positioning and creeping, takes one of the neutral creeps away.
It's gonna be a big item here for him. It's always nice with the Crypt Lord creeping this camp. Pretty much everything you can find here is good. The Boots of Quel'Thalas, the worst, but even those kind of good for attack speed and armor. Even the belt, for once, will be useful. It is the Quel'Thalas. Okay, a little unlucky, but as I said, still does something. Beetle, scouting, sees the expansion, timing by Blade. He had to go for it quickly. He knows the undead expansion is already coming up. He had to creep it before the MK is out. Who's going to be here in a moment, though? AM far forward. If he gets surrounded here, could be kind of scary, but he's got a lot of army around him to support.
Kind of scary? Dude, there's no TP and Staff is on cooldown for 20 seconds. This could have been the end. Right there.
He's trusting in his Water Elemental and Footman, I guess, to break him out of a possible surround. A lot of units here, lots of ghouls, and he gets surrounded, vanilla surrounded again. Uh-oh, and there he wasn't paying close enough attention, maybe. Has to summon the next Water Elemental at least before he dies, because I think he will die over here.
2 seconds on the Staff, shouldn't be enough. Stormbolt from the Mountain King, can he buy enough time? Impale on everything, and that gets him the kill, gets him level 4, but can he get out?
Stormbolt again, he wants to get the return kill here. That's a lot more damage against the MK than on the Crypt Lord, I think. Wait a minute. Both might be going down. This would be so much experience for the Mountain King. He gets level 2 from that. But he's still gonna die.
Is he though? Very close. Experience goes into no man's land, but all heroes wiped out. It's a complete hero wipe. The craziness of Northern Isles. But there's still pressure. WaN with the expansion can afford a Tavern Revive. Goes for it. This is so much experience up for grabs now. Gets the footy, gets the second one. Water Elemental is about to expire, and then what's the threat? There is none.
Yeah, this game is looking pretty disastrous here for Blade. He played a good game for a lot of this map here, but the same mistake twice is going to cost him the game here, seemingly. That was getting surrounded, getting vanilla surrounded. It happened once in the north, forced the TP. It happened once again here, and that led to the kill. If not for that, Blade may have been in a good position, but now he doesn't have an expansion. He still has to wait for his heroes, and WaN is going to be tier 3 soon. The German Undead seems to be closing out this game here, unless there's going to be a massive surprise.
So, some people might think, hey, he just stuns the hero, and he has so many units, then just surrounds him. What's the big deal about this, Remo? Why is it so hard?
Well, he did it without stunning him first. He just was able to find the ghouls in the right position and get the vanilla surround. That's what we call it, when there is no aiding spell, no kind of movement impairing ability that makes the surrounding easier. You just have to do it just with units, just predicting correctly and microing correctly. WaN, one of the best in the world at that. And Blade made a bit of a mistake, not respecting WaN's abilities there enough. He's trying still with the expansion, but it's looking pretty desperate at this point. 29 supply for Blade only. AM is finally back, and maybe he can force back this attack. I think he can, but the tier 3 for the Undead is coming in soon.
DK is coming as well, joins the army, has a mana potion, consumes it immediately. And he's going for it. Impale knows he used the staff, goes for the surround, fails this time. Was probably too easy to go for the Impale surround. GG, 3 times the charm. And that's game, and that's the 1-1.
All right, 1-1. Seems our two players here are evenly matched. And this was another good example of how you cannot slip against the Crypt Lord. No matter what matchup you're in, you cannot make mistakes early on against the Crypt Lord. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. And once you do, the Crypt Lord is completely going to spiral out of control. Similar to how the Keeper can work at times. He got surrounded once. That hurt him a lot already, having to TP out of the north, but it was okay. But he got surrounded a second time. He loses the hero, and that loses him the game. Blade still played very well for most of those games, but he needs to iron out those little mistakes, and then it can be looking even better for him.
Isn't it crazy how impactful an early game is? We saw that on map 1. We saw that here on map 2. If the Undead is able to harass and steal a lot, probably his game. If the human is able to prevent it and get his own level 3 quickly, probably his game. And now we move on to Concealed Hill.
I'm interested to see what we're going to be having here, because Crypt Lord expansion can be done here, but there's also a strong human counter to it. I talked about the creep route earlier on Northern Isles, where if you go for a fast expansion as human, it's really awkward to get that level 3 at a decent timing. On Concealed Hill, it's much easier. You also can go for some cheeky staff plays, try to cancel the Undead expansion. So Crypt Lord openings here can have a tough time. That combined with the fact that this can be hard for human to creep going up against a DK build, this could be a Ted Fiend opening again with a DK harassing again for WaN. So there's different options strategically on the Undead side and also on the human side. If it's DK standard, Blade doesn't have to go for 2-base play. He's one of the best at 1-base rifle play. So these are the things that both players have to keep in mind, what they want to go for and what they expect the opponent might be going for, and with how they have to adjust at the right time.
That's a lot of ifs. A lot of stuff can happen. We know that one player was eliminated from this tournament, and that is Terra. Neutron 2-0 eliminates the Polish Undead. And we got Little DC and Cooper in the second lower bracket. WaN is taking a little break, is back now. 28 years old from Germany, 4 mouse boards, $4,200. Most of that thanks to ESL Meisterschaft. This could certainly be one of his biggest achievements. $2,000 right off the bat just for qualifying, 2 maps away. Same goes for Blade, who would crack the 5 digits, would crack the $10,000 in prize money. And yeah, as it was in their last series at DreamHack Fall, WaN taking Northern Isles. Where does this series go now? Of course, Remo introduced you to Concealed Hill already. We're waiting for Blade to give us the go for this whole decisive map 3. Who's gonna claim match points? Who has a fallback map? Of course, both are not eliminated from this tournament if they lose the series. There is a lower bracket. Neutron is still in, Little DC is still in, and Cooper is still in. And of course, the loser of Craft versus Johnny Cage will be going there as well. And we go into map number 3. Concealed Hill it is. WaN versus Blade. Ding, ding, ding. Round 3.
Yeah, pivotal moment in this match. Match point now to be claimed. Who's going to take it and with which strategy? Bottom left in the orange, we have Blade starting off with what looks like a standard build so far. In the top right, the Undead from Germany, WaN, with a ghoul opening. As I said, on a map like Concealed Hill, seeing a DK Fiend standard build, also not too unlikely, but WaN says no. He's gonna go with the ghouls again, and that means most likely Crypt Lord. Although, we have been seeing some cheeky undeads recently, especially on Netties, playing DK Ghoul Harass builds. That is still very rare to see in Europe, but you have to keep that in mind, especially if you're the human player who would be playing defense in that kind of situation.
Alright, for Blade, it should very, very well be the Archmage once again. I think if we see Terraner stand, there might be a chance for a Mountain King, maybe on Echo Isles. That's not too likely, I think. Maybe Echo. What do we got? Archmage. It is WaN. We're waiting for Ziggurat to finish, and then we see it's the Crypt Lord. I think if there is a chance to see the Crypt Lord, WaN will always be going for it.
Yeah, seems like that is still his favorite hero, especially considering we even see him playing it so much in the matchup against Orc. So yeah, it's very likely indeed. Map bans, I think we don't know them, but should be Terranas and Twisted. So yeah, that would be the norm. So the nice thing about AM on this map is you can go for the Claws camp right away with Militia, take the green without Militia, and then go for the natural with the next round of Militia, perfectly leading to your level 3. And with the power of early Militia creeping, that creep route is finished by the human way faster than it is by the undead. So you can get ahead with levels, start setting up the expansion, and the nice benefit of this map is you're close to your shop as well, and you can go for a Telestaff, teleporting across the map, summoning the Water Elemental, and cancelling the undead expansion just with AM and maybe 1 or 2 footies, while the rest of the footmen keep your natural safe. That seems to be the most powerful build that has been displayed here so far. Oh, but Blade loses the first footman, getting it surrounded, and that's a big problem. That's going to make his aggressive attempts with a Telestaff a lot more difficult.
Usually, Blade loves to creep across the map, applying pressure right away, as he said. Is that still possible with the footman gone? The inventory says, yeah, probably. Gets level 2 now. Maybe he can steal the turtles, but can he do anything about this creep spot? I don't think so. He's way too far away. And guess what, Remo? It's a 4th farm. It's a natural expansion creep. That's a tier 1 expansion for Blade.
First time we see it by him today, but on this map, makes a lot of sense. But again, a big mistake in the early game. He keeps on getting surrounded. Before it was the AM, now it's the footy. If the footy was in the north, as I said, he could just staff there, cancel the expansion. But without that footy being there, perhaps not going to be doable. Blade could have reacted, could have sent out another one of his footmen to staff there, but he didn't do it. He wanted to creep the expansion a little more safely, although should have been able to do that without a footman. He keeps on creeping now. He's got the double claws already. Really good damage on the AM. He is next to the shop, so this might be time for the Telestaff. But WaN has, honestly, too easy of an early game. This Haunted Goldmine should not be coming up this fast.
Yeah, we talked about how important the early game is, especially for an undead. How fast is the Crypt Lord getting his might? And we can say, very quickly. Talisman, not the greatest, but definitely okay. Would love to have a staff, I guess, down the road himself. That's level 3 right here. Footman sees it, but Blade not in a position to punish this. Sentry wards, amazing. We saw a ghoul run by attempt already on Northern Isles, and I think this is exactly what Blade is scouting for at the right-hand side. WaN aiming for another surround, not knowing that this is just an illusion, so a little bit of wasted time. Now he knows, as the illusion shots don't do any damage. Where do we go now? Beetles on the left-hand side, going for the main, where obviously it's Blade. There's no tower. This is causing a little distraction, but good scouting for Blade himself.
Yeah. Definitely doing a good job here. Looking around the map, realizing where the attack might be coming in. Blade is playing pure defense, as in the main. The Beetles are hitting him. Honestly, that main should always be walled off in the early game. That's a bit of a mistake. This is a headache you shouldn't have to deal with if you wall off. But Blade is going to call Militia and deal with this somewhat successfully. He now walls off the main. But that should have been done already. Another little mistake that Blade shows that costs him a bit in the early game again.
Can you allow that on this level when it's about the top 8 of Europe? Probably not. Tier 2 has started. 4-1, little advantage here. Narrow tower up, second ziggurat plus the graveyard. We have a little skirmish breaking out. Will he be investing in Impale? Probably not. Trying to get a footman here and there. You can trade, since it's nighttime, you can trade hits quite well, then heal up or send the ghouls back. Will you feed the Archmage up to level 4? Ideally not, but I guess it's fine as you're the one teching faster, same economy. Your power spike will just come in way earlier than the humans.
Tech now finally begins. It's not that big of a difference. Maybe like 40 seconds, but that does matter with the second hero timing. And that tech was so much later, in air quotes, so much, because the wall wasn't there, because the beetles delayed in the main. These are these little things that can add up over time. AM, good experience though. He crept a little bit more with the merchant we saw earlier. AM close to 4. Having that level 4 early is always really great to have. Now even thinking about stealing the lab away. Oh, that's a great creep here by Blade. He's taking big experience away from the opponent. He's going to get the big item. He's going to get his own level 4. And he got the Shredder there as well. But WaN, with the Star Sense, knows this might be happening. But he's too late to claim the big one.
Apologize. Let's see where this goes. There's still an Impale. He secures the kill and the water elemental. I think Blade wanted to deny. Ghouls, of course, very fragile against the Shredder, against the level 2 water elemental. This may be a little too ambitious here.
Cryptlord at the moment not that powerful. That is sort of the downside of Cryptlord. Once you're out of mana, you have a problem in the early game. Once there's more fiends and statues coming in, then the strength is going to increase once more. The beetles, by the way, in the main, nibbling away. They took out one farm, which isn't the biggest deal, but then one early arcane tower being missing. WaN is trying to punish it. Of course, Blade cannot afford to lose this altar, and I don't think he will. But again, more militia time forced, maybe even some militia going down. But there's a Shredder now, so lumber issues will be a thing of the past very soon.
Good save by Blade as well. Gets a little more experience. That is, of course, level 4 in a bit already. Pretty lucky with the 2 claws. Accelerates everything. Can do way better trades now. Just shooting from afar. On the other side, WaN is going for the first set of fiends. DK, tier 3. Even a spirit tower. So he's not too cheap to invest into defense. More towers by Blade as well. He usually wants to skip all of the towers. Sometimes feels, well, against all these beetle harasses and run-bys, maybe I have an arcane tower or 2 ready.
Zeppelin by Blade. This could be his first opportunity to truly be aggressive across the map towards the opponent's expansion. WaN at the moment not thinking about going for a big attack. He wants to creep up more, get that powerful level 4 Cryptlord, and ideally also snipe the Orgalord. With the pull behind the tavern, we have seen it many times before. It's going to be a big item, the biggest item on the map for the Cryptlord, as the tier 3 is coming in. And the AM is going to land at the expansion very soon. How much damage is Blade going to be able to deal here? Considering there's no TP on WaN, this could be a little painful for the other.
There's 2 towers, as we said. Claws plus 12, wonderful for the Lich. But here's the drop. 2 towers against 5 footmen. The Acolytes are getting wrecked. There is a new Necropolis. He queues 4 of them immediately. But can he save the Haunted? No second Water Elemental. He's level 5 already with these kills.
Yeah, that's really good for the Water Elementals right here. I always love these plays, using the footies somewhat sacrificially in the mid-game. You don't want to keep them all alive until tier 3 is fully ready, because then footmen will just get annihilated. So use them now while they can still do so.
He needs to invest in Impale here. He needs repair as well. There's 2 Invo Potions on this Archmage, plus a Zeppelin. He's just tearing it down.
Oh my god, is that actually enough damage? Yeah. Another Impale? Repair though?
These Invo lasts forever. He needs to repair. He needs to repair. More of it. Doesn't get it. What a sick save by Blade. No web ready yet. And he just like that moves away. Lots of corpses. Bit of experience for WaN. But what a play by Blade. Little too slow, I guess. Moving back. And the risk of not having a TP hurts.
Also, the Acolyte control there wasn't the greatest. He moved them back very late. He didn't remake them quickly enough. With a bit more repair, he holds that one. And now, the AM dropping in here again. This is amazing harass by Blade. He's buying so much time for himself.
He has 2,000 gold.
Tier 3 coming online. He's gonna get all the upgrades soon. This game is looking great now for Blade.
Wow. Just one simple move in the mid game. Give Blade a finger and he takes the arm. And here we go again. Rinse and repeat. But the Crypt Lord is home now with a mana potion. Whew, we will compare the total gold. But we can already show you the gold per minute going way in Blade's favor right now. As of course there is no second gold mine. Can he do the same shenanigan in the main base? Oh, Gargoyle is up. Gotta be careful. There's the staff.
Put an end to the Zeppelin. But AM did his job. All footmen were sacrificed for this. Yeah. But this was basically the perfect way to use these footies. Great play by Blade. You know, he makes a few mistakes here and there, getting surrounded and losing units unnecessarily, but he always has these amazing plays as well to get back.
We do have 2 Sanctum, 1 Barracks, and 1 Workshop. We go Abominations immediately with double Slaughterhouse now. Frenzy coming, Destroyers coming, and the next Rat Spot. Web. Is Web even better? Yeah, should be better with 2 Fiends on the ground. The Gargoyle, of course, not doing full damage. 57 supply for WaN. Red Drake dead. Belt of Giant Strength. Again, not the greatest. Last red spot for Blade. Second Abomination. We don't have Disease Cloud yet. He's gonna queue it in a bit.
Well, Blade needs to pull away the AM over here. He's soaking up a lot of experience. That's the biggest problem for Blade in this game at the moment. His second and third hero being very underleveled. He keeps the AM in range, maybe afraid of getting jacked in the dark, but okay, he's gonna pull him back now. If the MK and Pally both get to level 3, this game is looking wonderful for Blade, but we don't have too many creeps left on the map anymore. A couple of green camps, the remainder of the red in the middle, but not so much XP, really.
Ghoul Frenzy. Is this the timing for WaN now? It sees 15 supply down. Shouldn't do it. And he's not. Lich, of course, a weapon with the Claw plus 12 and the Orb. Still no Disease Cloud. Is he fighting without it? Does he feel forced to fight without it? We do have Clap against him. 1 Gargoyle is, of course, also not optimal to have it. Impale almost hits nothing there. Not too sure if WaN should take this fight.
Level 2 for the Pally. Both spells here would be good. Disease Cloud finally coming in. That's going to do a lot of damage over time. But right now in this moment, not that super effective. Breaker numbers looking good. Upgrades at 1-1, also not too bad. Mana on WaN already very low. DK, no more mana left. Only a single potion on the Crypt Lord. WaN gonna be pushed back. Blade holds his position here. Still with a big army. 75 supply. The human is looking strong.
He's investing into Gyros now to get rid of that Destroyer. Web is ready, though, to take him out, and he won't have the big numbers. We do have the spell now, which always takes a couple. If it's level 3 Water Elementals, Crypt Lord gotta be careful, goes for the hero kill. This might be the end for the MK! Does have an Invo Potion and the Holy Light. That wasn't enough. Just no level 3 Impale, only level 2 Coil. The Crypt Lord gotta get out. He has Clap and Stormbolt, so he does. Not getting bashed. But WaN closing that supply gap as Blade is maxed out at 80. WaN is getting there. I thought this fight would be way worse for the German. Holds his ground, but now he's fighting the so powerful late game human. He's close to level 3 on the Mountain King. He has level 2 Paladin already. Archmage is level 5. Now he moves him away. What?
I love the army comp here, by the way, by Blade. I think this is the perfect composition. Like 6, 7, 8 gyros in the air to be able to deal with destroyers. A few knights, not too many, only 2, maximum 3, a good number of breakers, and a bit of supporting cast. As you mentioned, the human reaching this point at 80 is super strong. Getting to this stage, that is oftentimes the bigger problem, but Blade was able to do it with a beautiful play, especially, of course, that drop against the expansion. MK, an inch away from level 3. Blade with good gold still, even going into a high upkeep here at 82.
Wow, wants to end it. WaN has no TP. He wants the level 5 Crypt Lord, sends all the heroes away. They sharking around that expansion. What's the angle? Where to attack? Got a Scroll of Healing here. No invul this time on none of the heroes. We have an Orb of Fire. WaN is moving away from the shop. Not willing to go for this. It's about every tiny little piece of experience on the map, isn't it? Level 3 Mountain King now. Do we have a level 5 Crypt Lord? No, we don't. And that's a lot of gyros on the map now.
To be able to deal with the air quickly, that will be valuable experience for the Paladin as well. DK in trouble right away, and the air superiority easily goes to Blade. Maybe even a little too heavy on the gyros. Would love to see some bombs here against the statues. Stormbolt again against the DK. Holy Light could be his end. Trying to save him with the Impale, but the DK goes down. Paladin, level 3, and now Blade has hit critical mass. He's exactly where he wants to be. Fighting now against an Undead without Coil, without Aura. Seems to be able to even fight into the Undead base. And there we thought it was impossible. Impale though again. MK kind of hurt, but that level 2 Holy Light really good right now. Paladin has to go for the heal scroll for himself. Ideally you want to keep him in the back, but Blade now pushing forward. He's got the Water Elementals in here as well, which cannot be dispelled because the gyros are clearing the air at all times.
There's a DK back from the tavern. Needs a mana potion, of course, as well. Now we got landmines. Can attack the statues. Going for the main right away. Impale on the Paladin once more, but there's 250. Mountain King, though, catches the Holy Light. How much more can he go for? Crypt Lord so close to 5, but he's not getting much experience. Maybe he should focus on the gyros. That's exactly what he's doing now. Level 3 Impale. Can he go for a Hail Mary? 50 supply for the Undead only. MK. Do we have a staff ready? We certainly do. So all that damage that WaN throws into this hero is wasted.
Heroes low across the board. It's looking a little stressful right now. MK has one more Stormbolt, cocked and ready, but only level 1 Stormbolt, remember. Lich, however, super squishy, level 1. He goes down so fast. GG is called, and Blade will take the lead in this series.
Not only that, he also claims match points in our first deciding series of the day. One map away from the DreamHack finals. After no showing the winter quarterfinals, he might just go there through this last chance tournament. It's looking good. We don't exactly know what the remaining maps are. We got Echo Isles left. Maybe Terranas, maybe Twisted. And what else is in?
Last Refuge? Did you say that already?
And Last Refuge, exactly.
Last Refuge seems to be the choice here indeed. A map where Crypt Lord first definitely can work out, but also where the human counterplay to it with mercenaries can be very potent. I was quite impressed here with Blade in the late game. It seems like in the late game, he always delivers. In the early game, sometimes there's a few mistakes where he's a little bit shaky and not 100% clean, but good plays in the mid game to get him back. It was, of course, the Zeppelin drop that pretty much decided this game. And then clean play in the late game. He wasn't trying to get fancy with mortar teams or tanks or anything like that. Just a little bit of cast support on the ground, good breaker numbers, good numbers in the air with gyros to prevent the air superiority with destroyers, and then trusting in his control and in his heroes to do the rest of the job. Really good play here by Blade. Once he gets to 80 supply, you're going to have a tough time dealing with him. Maybe WaN should try to be more aggressive and commit earlier and try to not allow that stage of the game for his opponent.
3,000 people watching. Can WaN turn it around, or will it be a 3-1? Last Refuge is indeed the next map, so the decider will probably be Echo Isles if we go for a full best of 5.
You're in the player slot, by the way.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
No worries.
A little slow today. I wonder why that is.
I mean, you got up early this morning to go to church just like me, so that must be why.
Sure. Man, you had time this morning for church and to shave your beard? You look 15 years younger, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
It weird.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago, actually. But yeah, it was I shaved off finally, get that rat's nest out of there. Now we're gonna grow it back for half a year. So, Last Refuge. Map number 4. Is WaN gonna tie up the series with a 2-2, or does Blade already get his victory here? And with that, reclaim his place among the top elite of European Warcraft. In the summer season, it looked like Blade definitely belongs there in top shape. The Moldovan human player is super strong, but with no shows and other issues. Blade was kicked out of the top 5. Now might be making it into the top 8 again.
High stakes. WaN was never able to defeat Blade in a tournament. How long will this series last? It could be over right after this. Then we have Craft versus Johnny Cage in the lower bracket best of 5 for you guys. So much more Warcraft coming to your Valentine's Day home screens here. Thank you, Alpdur, by the way, for the 2-month resub. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Greetings. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Cryptlord it is again. Should not surprise us. How sure is Blade that it's going to be Cryptlord? If you have a hard read and you're really sure it's going to be Cryptlord, you can just go for a Merc camp pull, creep that right away, get off to a great start with the AM and the Mercenaries. But if you're wrong and you get harassed with a DK, you could be in big trouble. So how much of a risk is Blade willing to take? Seems like he will take this risk. He's got the footy over at the Merc, and he is not concerned about a harassing DK at all.
And rightfully so. If it's WaN, you can't expect that. It's a little bit of a gamble, obviously. Should be fine. Militia creep at the Merc. That's the Shadow Priest for you right away. That's a Dispel against a Beetle, which certainly helps you here. How good are the last hits? Archmage gets number 1. We get another sub by Disproved by Hell. 7 months already. Much love. Next chance for WaN. Super hard to do. It doesn't get it.
No last hit here. We casted a game like a week ago or something. What was that again? Where the Acolyte gets the last hit? If you get the Rock Golem, it's just ridiculously strong. It's 120 experience, and it's a swing, so it's basically worth 240. But doesn't happen here. It's the AM getting the full camp, gets some tomes, gets a Scourge Bone Chimes, which early on for the footies is pretty nice, and late game for the Knights could be pretty good.
Exactly. If he wants to hold on for it for so long, definitely a wonderful upgrade. One of the best on the entire map. Cryptlord not level 2 yet, moves over. And Blade, what is this? Huh? Okay, ping would be interesting.
Yeah, Cryptlord's super aggressive. He doesn't go for the Merc camp. You can creep this with the Cryptlord if you want, but no, with level 1, he's moving across the map. The footy almost got surrounded, almost, but not quite. Blade was able to move it out. It would have been level 2, but he didn't quite get it in time. Now, WaN comes in for the harass. He has to do a lot of damage right here because the AM is level 3 already.
Yeah, he doesn't even have Impale. He needs to get killed. He's not creeping somewhere at the same time. Banking on the fact that he gets his last hit. There we go. Archmage gets the next last hit here. Only a Claw. Mana is rare for WaN. Still can go for an Impale, and I wonder, was that the right decision to move over aggressively?
Yeah, I very much doubt it. I don't think so. Even the Shadow Priest is still alive. There's still 5 peasants here. Yeah, the expansion is a little bit later for Blade, but he can set it up now. And if he just counterattacks right now, Blade, whether he attacks the expansion or the main, how is WaN gonna hold on?
I just told you all my ideas. A little uncertain about this also. Yeah. Blade, interesting creep route here, going for the Null immediately, not for the Priests. We got 2 new subs, by the way. Rakatosh, 2 months in a row, and Sanolan, 38 months. Much love, my guys. WaN needs to power up like crazy.
Yeah, AM really good experience. You go for the second Shadow Priest now, and then be aggressive. He's a little supply stuck right now. He actually went for a 3-farm Expo. That is super rare to see, so his expansion is halted for a long time. I mean, his production is halted for a long time, but we'll be able to produce soon enough again when it's finished. Ebo Cakesa with a 6-month resub. Thank you. Here we go. Level 4 AM, Mercs, Footies. This is the dangerous timing for Undead where it's so hard to hold off against. We'll see how WaN manages to do it, if he does. Look at the footy in the main. He sees 2 low HP ghouls. He can take off 2 ghouls with just 1 footman.
A little bit of...
Oh god.
Oh, that's a disaster. That's 240 gold. And the graveyard is getting cancelled as well. When it rains, it pours on you, WaN. He will have another shot in the lower bracket, but this looks so powerful when usually the early game is a problem for human. Going for the footman now, investing in Impale, gets 1 kill, but the firepower of the piercing damage, it's so big against ghouls especially. But okay, he's holding on with the investment of a second Impale.
Yeah. The level 2 Impale here doing a good job, but Crypto are going to be out of mana somewhat soon. Blade would love to keep on trading units here and get up to level 5. He's got way better mana sustain. Level 3 Water Elementals quickly could be super strong. But WaN is also getting a few kills. WaN doing better than I thought he would. He had the opportunity to creep the lab and get more items and more experience. Maybe Blade could have attacked a little bit sooner, but still. Good pressure here by the human. He's going to take out another Shadow Priest as the tech finally begins. It's a little bit of a tech lead by WaN, but not that much.
Can the footman get another kill here? It's close. He's walking into the tower and saves. Second crypt right in his face. This sentry ward, of course, amazing, but he never built the graveyard that was cancelled by Blade, so he can only go for ghouls. No fiends. Can of course go for some mercenaries. Good deny here. Feels like WaN is accelerating a little bit. Blade, of course, doesn't have to worry about an Impale as there is no mana for this, and retreats when it's getting dangerous. Now the graveyard. Quite a delay. And more mercs for Blade.
Can go for another Berserker here if he wants. Seems like the rally point of the barracks for the footman is between the two bases. Maybe Blade not aware of this right now. AM in trouble in the middle as well. Getting blocked, getting attacked, dropping really low. The beetle blocks wonderful by WaN. AM just barely survives what he wouldn't do for an Impale right now, but doesn't quite have enough mana for this. So the AM falls back, will make it to safety, where the shop is finishing perfectly in time. He's going to be able to heal up a little bit there.
Alright, Lumbermill coming for guard towers as well. Once more, no towers in the main. One tower at the expansion, now walling off his peasants to be safe from ghoul run-bys. Level 4 on the Crypt Lord. This will be a super powerful Lich down the road, but it's a long way until then. Still, only ghouls. He needs to do something with the ghouls, just like Human do a lot with their footmen early. He needs to go for some run-bys with them, I think.
Yeah, Blade would love to fight these ghouls right here. He's got the Water Element, he's got the Mercs. But the scary thing is still the HP on the AM. There was an Impale ready.
Blade is once again banking almost 2,000 gold, by the way. Despite the Mercs. Yeah, 2k gold now. Who else is able to do that?
Yeah, and 0 towers in the main. That is one of the reasons why, I suppose. But there was so much action on the map, and the armies pressuring each other so much, there was never really time for that big run-by, so he didn't need that tower. Blade's greediness pays off, as the tier 3 is started on both sides, and the second heroes will be coming out in a moment. Impale is wonderful, but not that much follow-up damage.
Yeah, exactly. What's the purpose of this Impale? Maybe just threaten Blade away to claim the spot? It's an arms race to level 5. Does he have another Impale ready? Nope. So he gives the Archmage level 3 Water Elemental. Mana's getting soaked. Oh no, it was actually Blade who found the Wand of Mana Steal and using it immediately, preventing another round of beetles here. DK is coming in. Finally. With some healing on the Crypt Lord. He can stay in, but with what?
Oh, Mana Potion, Impale. That's going to be a few more kills. Pretty much everything is dying here on both sides as the MK joins as well. Experience on DK and Mountain King. Very even. Beetles against Water Elementals. At the moment, that favors the Water Elementals because the AM has much better mana sustain than the Crypt Lord does. He got the Mana Potion. There's a second one as well, but no passive regen as the AM has. And again, Blade did a good job getting value out of the Footmen. Now that tier 3 is soon to arrive, Footmen have lost their value, so he rotated them out. And it's going to go into a stronger army again soon, still with almost 2,000 gold.
Castle Tech almost done. He's going into Workshop, Double Sanctum, and Knights, of course. And he held on to the Vambora. There was no need to sell it ever. So the Knights will be crazy strong. More towers for WaN, who's going into more production now as well with tier 3, with the Lich. And a couple of Fiends. Fine. These are the first Fiends of the game.
Yeah, WaN, I think, definitely made a mistake there, starting those super late. Also, didn't have too many ghouls on Lumber, so you can't go for all the upgrades right now. Ideally, once you're tier 3, you want to start Destroyer Form and A-Bomb and Disease Cloud right away. But WaN doesn't have the Lumber for this, so he again is slowed down.
Red spot. Opportunity for WaN, maybe, to go for the creep jack. Archmage has to be careful, but the Crypt Lord is far in the back. Where is he even? Okay, got the orb, so lucky break for Blade. But the red spot is still up for grabs. He can use Impale, he can use Coil. He's getting a lot of hits on this DK. Blade willing to engage. Once again, we have a big fight for a creep spot.
Great sentry ward here by WaN. He sees what's happening. The Orb of Fire actually being effective here against the creeps. You don't see that every day.
True. Never thought about that. Yeah, of course. But yeah, not a game breaker. Mountain King still level 1. That's an issue. He wants to get this priest of right away for a little bit of experience for level 5. DK is in trouble. Might have to pass the TP. Moves back. Feels very safe as the Mountain King is in trouble. But there's a staff ready in the absence of a paladin. Feels like WaN is getting a little more control of the game.
Yeah, that was a wonderful staff there, though, to save the hero. Outside of the first heroes, we have super low levels. Level 1 AM, level 1 MK, level 1 DK, Lich, and Paladin. All have not leveled at all yet. Who's that better for? Hard to tell. You at least want level 2 on all of these heroes, but this is WaN now getting a lot of experience. Seems like he is going to be claiming the red camp on the enemy side of the map. This is a big moment in the game.
And that's level 5. Cloak of Flames on a Crypt Lord. Incredibly powerful, especially on top of Disease Cloud and Nova and Impale. This is great AoE if you can keep him in the front line. And that's coming. That's... oh my god, that's so much damage. But I mean, on the other side, there's Vampora. There we go. Impale, Nova, level up. WaN is playing a very, very solid late game so far.
They're gonna have to TP over. If you TP, it's always dangerous to get impaled right after, but there's no more mana, actually, at this point. And WaN gets away scot-free. The peasants have been replaced. We are gonna have to keep an eye out whether that's gonna be impactful for Lumber later, but at the moment, Lumber for Blade is looking good. Supply-wise, very even. 70 against 70. We're gonna have the first really big fight of this game. Crypt Lord has no impale at the moment. Will have it soon, but again, big breaker frontline, which will not be effective.
Can WaN go for a hero kill? He's trying to aim for the Paladin, but there was a Potion Blade absolutely ready for this Disease Cloud spread, but the Abomination is falling with just one more hit. No, the coil was ready. Also Orb of Fire, so very, very minimal damage. And in the end, the Holy Light kills him off. How much damage over time is this going to be? Priests will, of course, be healing against it, but it's a lot of mana invested for Blade at the moment, and he went for level 3 Water Elementals, not level 3 Aura, so it's not infinite. Sundering Blades coming. WaN soaking up experience with the Crypt Lord, not perfect, but he needs to speed things up. Is a little afraid of a creep jack, maybe.
Level 3 DK would be a really big deal, but it's not quite good enough. Double mana potion still in the inventory. One of the Wind can be really good.
Yes.
Depends on how on point the priest dispel is going to be. Is there only a single priest? Okay, 2 priests at the moment.
Yeah, WaN was focusing
a
on them.
little too heavy on the breakers and a little too low on the supporting units.
WaN sniped a lot of priests during the fight, so maybe that's the reason why. But yeah, Blade has to make up for that. Second red spot goes to Blade, uncontested. WaN going for the expansion once again. Claws plus 12, no aura, can deal with that. Ghouls again here, forcing another TP and getting closer and closer to level 3. How fast can he get out? No Impale here. That's a couple of ghouls falling, but they will be replaced with Abominations. Impale, the first one of the Wind, immediately dispelled, but WaN sees an opening to do some more damage here. One of the Wind of the Mountain King prevents Stormbolt, dispelled again very quickly, and the Knight is staffed out, so not too much damage actually.
65 supply for WaN. The A-bomb to the front line, certainly tanky, but with the Fiends he has to be careful. Mountain King out of mana, so is the Crypt Lord. So mana across the board, sort of low. Level 3 for the DK. That's a big level up now for the Undead player. As Blade is still pushing forward. He's got Inner Fire on some of his units, but not on too many. MK was in trouble there. Healthstone has to be consumed. That one is gone forever. We have the first Destroyer now up in the air, and no more Gyros left, actually, to deal with that one. Knights against A-bombs, the 2 tanky units in the front line. The Water Elementals, by the way, doing a great job. They still haven't been dispelled. Level 3 Paladin at the perfect moment. He's going to need to save his second hero. Oh, Mountain King just barely gets away. He's going to have to staff him out in a moment, probably. He's got a staff ready. He's got a staff ready. Heal scroll first, though, as a Crypt Lord. He's in trouble with a Crypt Lord as well. Nothing to save him. TP transfer last second. Oh, my God.
DK.
Super close with the hero saves here. Death Knight will also make it out on 20 HP. Oh, my God. There was 4 different heroes there close to dying. But at the end, everyone survives.
The undead heroes had a combined 40 HP. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. But the undead hero levels are getting there. 533. How about the human? They're at 533 as well. What a game. WaN showing that he can hang with the best in this matchup. But he's on the verge of being eliminated. If one of these heroes goes down, WaN goes down to the lower bracket. And this is a little bit optimistic for Necropolis. Might be tactical, though, to force Blade into the bottom right while he's cleaning up the green, this green, and the null camp in front of his expansion.
Statue taken out. WaN didn't reset the rally.
Ouch.
It's going to be a cancel here. WaN gets most of the resources back. It's also time for him to creep on his side of the map. Level 4 DK for Death Pact would be really good. Level 3 Lich is already acquired, so yeah, levels are looking good. He needs to stop creeping with his Crypt Lord, though. Yeah. He's been wasting quite a bit of experience.
Both might be going for the turtles, the last bit of experience on the map. Who gets the better end? WaN actually caught up in experience at one point. Then came the fight, and the graph swung again into Blade's direction. Creeping, of course, very easy with all the knights. Paladin could be even going for Devotion Aura, maybe, but a long invul. Oh my, Pendant of Energy. What a nice asset to have now.
And WaN still with his Crypt Lord in range.
Yeah, that's
man, that is
big mistake.
That is so much experience wasted.
And he's never, like this entire series, he's never going for Banshees. He rather goes into meat wagons now.
Also questionable. I mean, wagons can be good if you can maintain a stable front line, having wagons against the casters shooting over the front line. But anti-magic is super good, and possession late game against knights can also be very strong. I like the min-maxing here on the Paladin. He's going to get level 4 from the green camp. I would love to see the aura here. He's got level 1 Divine Shield already.
Yeah, same. We get the Sorcerer's Master training, maybe already anticipating the possession play coming in, because Polymorph is a counter.
Oh, true. I never thought about that.
To possession. Was wonderfully displayed by Agent in the Silver Cup. That was an amazing game. Oh, this wagon, this abomination, this just fodder for Blade at the moment, causing some confusion in this army. Not the perfect frontline MK! Little bit of healing, but he goes through with it. There was a staff, he didn't go for it. And that is a big damage dealer and disabler out of this fight.
Yeah, massive mistake by Blade. He didn't have the pally in position. He was chasing after the wagon, I believe it was. Really, really painful for the human. MK is back from the tavern, but still just standing there, AFK. Now going for the Paladin after. Can he survive? He's getting focused heavily. The Divine Shield last second saves the third hero. MK is back in the fight. Stormbolt to use.
DK.
It's only one Stormbolt.
Lich is far in the back, has another Impale. Can this Paladin save himself? There's a potion, another Abomination. Needs a coil desperately, but that would be the last one. 75 supply for the Moldovan Waller. 81 for WaN, but where is all that supply? In production,
really
I guess.
It had to TP out. Still both with massive armies, but WaN with a third base. And that is something that Blade hasn't been able to set up this whole time.
But
on Last Refuge, both first and second base expired pretty quickly. So Blade is going to need to get up this third base very, very soon.
Or he just kills this. There's no TP. Very hard to engage. Does he have landmines by now? No, he doesn't. But there's high ground for Blade now. What prevents him to kill this? Oh, maybe a Crypt Lord does. With a Nova Impale triple kill level 4 without taking any damage for it.
Yeah, very bad positioning by Blade. He wasn't paying attention to his casters at all. Uncharacteristic mistakes by Blade. Normally in this late game fighting, he's always on point. But here, there was, what was that? 6, 8 supply dying for nothing. Slow is starting to kick in partly, but not that much really. WaN is kiting back, trying to maximize damage of the Disease Cloud.
What's that Divine Shield? Super early, very unnecessary. This might cost him, but there's almost no mana on WaN anymore. Can it come as a surprise with that potion? He used it already. Level 4 for the DK. Can now go for Death Pact if he wants to. Clap by Blade. Kills another Aba on the left-hand side. 2 Knights falling as well. Absolute slobber knocker here on last Refuge as WaN is fighting for survival. Obviously, Blade wants to push into the DreamHack regional finals. We are moments away from the decision on game 4. Blade at 63, losing more and more breakers. Feels like the firepower of WaN isn't decreasing ever.
Big army for WaN still left. It's the mana really that seems to be the problem. No shop still at the expansion. Maybe a little mistake there by the German. Invul potions, Divine Shield used on both sides. Water Elemental still doing a good job. God! The DK goes down. It's another hero kill. The Mountain King will also fall. He had the Invul. Didn't use it in time. Blade with another micro mistake, but perhaps still in good enough of a position here to keep on pushing forward.
What can he do? He needs to save this Lich. He absolutely has to save this Lich. Mana sustain, of course, on an Archmage. Absolutely amazing. He does have Mass Teleport. What's it good for against Impale, though? Gotta question that. There is the Crypt Lord in trouble now. And mind you, no coil. WaN's tournament or winner bracket life on the line. He's saving himself into the base, where of course there's a little bit of safety, but we've seen Blade before winning fights in an undead base. Heroes low, DK benched, and here is Mass Teleport for the very first time as Blade knocks down the base of WaN.
And that means we have no mining left in a bit. Blade with only 400 gold left at the natural. That's going to be gone in no time. And now we're in a weird state. We had two base income for the longest time, and now we are at 0.
WaN has the advantage that he can sell a couple of buildings. But yeah, nobody is really allowed to give up any units, items, especially hero. I think the next hero kill might decide this game, and the DK is still not back.
Yeah, neither is the Mountain King. We're missing the second hero, the Lich in trouble again. The Holy Light, the right clicks. He almost goes down. Dispel from the Destroyer against the Slow. Oh my god. One Holy away from death. Actually, he dies to the Breaker. Feedback indeed. Level 5 for the Paladin. Crazy strong Holy Light now. And this seems to be the beginning of the end. Slow kicking in at times. The Destroyer can't keep up with all the Dispel. Holy Light super powerful now. So much mana. So much damage from the Paladin. WaN being pushed back to his main. He's waiting for the DK to return.
He's back.
A couple of seconds. But how's he going to get the Lich back?
Oh my, that was, what, 15 supply gone. Also the statue, probably the most important unit in the late game. He keeps one alive. The ghouls are just fodder. He can't get the Lich back. Not from the tavern, not from the altar. He needs to sell a lot. There's Mass Teleport once again at the right-hand side where there's more Acolytes, more levels. We have a level 5 Paladin.
Yeah, super strong hero levels here. The level 6 AM with the Mass Teleport. The Paladin 5 with the crazy strong Holy. The MK is finally back. He died a little bit more often than Blade would have liked, but he's also level 4. That's also a very strong level. Still has the Invul in his inventory. And Blade can long distance mine now. Something that the Undead can't do.
Okay, WaN, will you sell the buildings? Can you somehow get the Lich back? It's in production. But this takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes of long distance mining. 2 minutes of map control. Item shuffling. DK a little far forward. Catches the Stormbolt. Has to use the Impale against the Disease Cloud spread once again. Slowly but steady, he's taking care of the Gyrocopters. Is WaN winning the air superiority again?
Stormbolt, Holy Light, so much damage. DK goes down. And that is the GG. 3-1 victory for Blade. A few mistakes definitely there in the late game. Rare to see from him, but overall still a great game by Blade. He will join in the top ranks of the European competitors. WaN drops down to the lower bracket to fight on there.
To fight Neutron first. Yeah, this is our 6th player out of 8 for the DreamHack European Regional Finals. Let's all hope that he's gonna show up there. He's joining Happy, Foggy, Hawk, X-Lord, and Vortex as the 2nd human player. And yeah, great fight by WaN. But at the end, Blade, maybe the better player here today. Was oftentimes the early games. And we gotta think back of that early game on last Refuge. Was it the right decision to be aggressive that early? Was that the moment that cost him the game? Super strong fighting spirit. Almost a great comeback. but then I think maybe a little too greedy with the invuln potion. The Lich falling there, big deal in the late game. There were so many moments where the game could change, and this is absolutely wonderful. Warcraft, that's $2,000 for Blade. But WaN still has a shot in the lower bracket. We have the same matchup right after, and another player that plays very, very well with the Crypt Lord. It is Craft, the second best of 5 for the next ticket to DreamHack European Regional Final. It's going to be Johnny Cage versus Craft, Human versus Undead, Russia versus France, coming to you in a couple of minutes.